Good morning and welcome to our devotions this morning. It is Tuesday, October 13th, I believe. I'm getting the chats put on so we can discuss and have some communication. That is ready to go. Okay, let me put this down here. Sorry. I'm actually going to try something. All right, I can put this over here. That's awesome. I don't have to have the tablet. So, yeah, let me get settled here and let's talk. Okay, my hair is like really, I am sorry. So for those of you that don't know, I don't want you guys to think anything crazy. This is just a Marvel character, a comic book character. So I'm not like, there's nothing. I just started to think about this. Is like I don't know if I've worn this hat before doing devotions. His name is Punisher. He had long story if you don't care about comic books. But anyway, I always get mixed up because it's backwards on the screen. I love the Punisher comic. Well, I don't know a lot about him. I know a little bit. Anyway, long story short, I love this like look, and I know that sounds weird, maybe being a pastor, but anyway, I love the Punisher logo. I think it's a great logo. Anyway, it's just a comic book. I'm not doing anything about, you know, dead people or trying to raise skulls or any weird things. So purely a comic book. But I thought I'd mention that this morning because I don't know if I don't know if I've worn the comic book. So anyway, I got my thing. I didn't realize, I didn't even think about it, that I could put the comments on the screen. So just so you guys know, I'm going to show you something. We'll let you in on the life. Well, we're getting really close here. I'm going to turn this off for a second. But look, here is what normally I am looking at. And this is going to be kind of weird because you're going to see multiple screens there. But this is what I see. So over there, right there, see the pictures and pictures? Like that's where I see myself. And then over here, you see this is where I can see the comments that you guys make. I normally put that on the tablet, but I didn't realize that I could put it on that screen over there. That's like a better idea. My microphone's right there, so that's what I communicate through. Obviously the Bible, and then these things. So this is the screen. I know I've said this, showed this before. We did a video one time on me learning how to use this. But this is kind of the setup. So my devotion book. Look, I'm getting ready for a youth group on Wednesday. Studying out the G shades. Got all the t-shirts organized. Oh, and then I got to show you something fun. So I'm going to make a post for youth group. Sorry for the dizziness in a second. I'm going to make a post for my youth group here in a moment, well, later today. But I was trying to get the trash out. I normally don't have the trash can sitting there. Second, I'm going to show you two things. One, I'm going to move my trash can. My kid left his screwdriver. This isn't really going to do a whole lot for my work, but he left it. You guys heard me talking about cereal the other day. Look what I found, and I'm gonna tie this into youth group. So, for those, Olivia, I'm gonna get the mornings in here. I know we're having a little fun this morning, but Olivia, Laura, if James and Bethany are with you, they're gonna see this in a little bit. It's not super secretive, but we are going to do a study, kind of. I won't say based on it. Obviously, it's not based on it, but it uses the idea of The Mandalorian. So if you've not seen that series, that's a series of Star Wars that is on Disney Plus, The Mandalorian. But there is a comment that he makes a statement that he lives by. The Mandalorian, this is saying, this is the way. And it's the idea of the covenants that we believe and the way he believes. And it's the story, right? Is he's battling that, right? Because of a character. A character makes him think through and battle what he believes. That character is Baby Yoda. Makes him question. He's a bounty hunter, kills people, Punisher, right? Okay, you're starting to see the connection, hopefully, and everything that's going on in my life right now. But the Mandalorian's a bounty hunter. He kills people for a living, but he's got a code that this guy, little Baby Yoda here, makes him question his code. And so what we're going to discuss in youth group, one, I got 2 boxes of these because I'm going to give one of these boxes away in youth group because we're all about the visual aids. So we're going to have this, and it's going to be visual. But I bought another box because I'm going to have to try this because I can't give it away without trying it, right? I mean, can't do that. That's not good. So anyway, we're going to do that. But that's the Mandalorian. But we're studying the idea of the covenants and what we believe, right? And sometimes in our lives, there are things that challenge what we believe. They make us push what we believe in. And are we believing the right thing? Are we doing the right thing? And in our lives, right, the youth group specifically, but in our lives too as regulars, but teens, I think, get this a lot, is that sometimes they start questioning their belief system. You know, they've grown up maybe in church, or they've grown up around people in church, and so they start seeing that belief system, but they don't really made it their own yet. And so we're going to focus on trying to make it their own. That's what we're going to do in youth group. So hopefully, let me say the good mornings. So anyway, Zara Mallory, she said good morning. Judy Marsh, good morning to you. How are you doing this morning? James Moore, he's on YouTube. Good morning. Shirley Bikeman, good morning to you. Judy says good morning here again. Olivia, she didn't say it again. She said it. She was watching. I posted the wrong one. Olivia is saying good morning. Laura Compton, yep, the Punisher, Laura Compton, she's got it. Kathy Wood, good morning to you. Debbie McClain, good morning. God bless you also. So this is gonna pop up, I think. Where's Debbie's? There it is. All right, so Debbie, good morning to you. Also, so glad to have everybody here this morning, and it's Tuesday. It's October 13th. It is a ridiculous, gorgeous day out. Yesterday was not. Yesterday was gray and kind of gloomy all day, and it started off really nice. I was really kind of excited. Went home and was with the kids for a little bit in the morning, and we took them outside, and we were having some fun. It looked like a great morning, so we made some plans. I don't ever look at the weather because that requires me to look at the news. And I just don't care to look at the news. So I just don't. And so I didn't see the weather either. And I didn't realize it was going to change. And it did. It changed and got pretty gloomy the rest of the afternoon, evening with the rain. And so we stayed inside most of the night. So, all right, James and Bethany, good morning to you also. So glad to have you here. And then Keith, watching from Oklahoma City. So glad to have you joining us, Keith. So it's fantastic to have you. But here is, what was I going to say? Oh, it's a gorgeous day out today. I'm looking out this window. I'm getting to go out into the shop and do some work. But it is an amazing day. I just love how God does that. So here's what I want to bring you this morning. We're going to get into it. We're a little bit behind. I know I was a little distracted this morning with my cereal and stuff going on. But John chapter 14. John chapter 14. And this was the verse in my devotion this morning. And so here's the big thing. I'm really not going to give you a challenge today. I know normally there's always a challenge mindset. I just want to encourage you. I feel like today's just an encouragement. Obviously you can always pull a challenge out of it, and I could, but I just want to encourage you. There's a God who loves us, right? We want to talk about this is the way. We talk about the covenants that the Mandalorian focuses on. And granted, this is where our brain is, right? So I'm trying to get in the right mindset for youth group. But there, it, there's a belief system that we as Christians have. That belief system is that Jesus, he lived this earth, he lived a perfect life, he died for us, and he was resurrected, and now he sits at the right hand of God. And so the belief system that we have is this Bible, right? This is our code of conduct. This is how we get through, right? We follow everything that's in this. And so this is a good thing. In this, one of the things that we believe is that there is a heaven, right? There is somewhere that we go when we die. There is a place that God and Jesus, the Holy Spirit, they inhabit. And in that place, we get to be with God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit in perfect union with them as heirs with Christ. So we get this whole thing. We get heaven. What does that look like? Can I draw a picture? I mean, you don't want me drawing a picture. Autumn, my daughter, beautiful artist, she could draw a picture. I'm sure of it, of heaven and what maybe that would look like from what we can gather from different things. Whether maybe there's streets of gold, like gold bricks, maybe, I don't know. Or maybe it's just one solid sheet of gold. Or maybe it's like the rainbow bridge that Thor steps on, for Ragnarok. I don't know. Beautiful, whatever it is. Amazing, probably architecture style, right? We think that there's going to be buildings and so in the verse here we get that picture, like there's an actual building with rooms. And I know there's people that sing songs about it, right? I remember back in the day, the big house, right? And so there's some different things that we get this idea, this picture, but we so we can throw together ideas of what heaven look like. I was talking to my nephew and nieces this morning, and they were talking about what is it going to look like for animals up in heaven, right? Will there be the different type of animals there? And obviously, we don't know exactly what's going to be there. We think we get the picture of there's at least some animals, right? We get the lion laying next to the lamb, and we get these other angelic creatures. Now we get angels too, but there's also these angelic creatures, these types of things. So I think there's going to be things there, and so we have to kind of guess, will there be giraffes and rhinos and dolphins and bears, or where does it stop, or where doesn't it stop? I was like, is there a dragon up in heaven? Like, I mean, right? And we were talking and discussing, is the snake, the serpent style, right? I mean, was there a snake that had legs that talks, maybe wings? I don't know. That's up there, and we get to see that the different extinct animals that we don't have here more. I mean, are they up in heaven? Are they preserved? I don't know. But what we do know is there's a place, and that's what I want to focus on. There's a lot of I don't knows, but there is a truth and there's a promise. I want to read it to you in John 14, verse 1. I'm just going to say verse 1 through verse 3. Maybe verse 4. Let's do that. 14, 1 through 4. This is what Jesus says. And he's talking to his disciples. He's talking to you as a believer. This can apply to you. Let not your hearts be troubled. Believe in God. Believe also in me. In my Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? Would I have lied to you if it wasn't so? Verse 3. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and will take you to myself, that where I am, you may be also. And you know the way to where I am going. And I know we get this kind of conversation back and forth between the disciples, and they say, well, we don't know the way. And Jesus says, no, you do know the way. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Again, I've always said it's freaky, right? I'm getting ready to start a series in the youth group about the Mandalorian that says this is the way. That's his statement. His statement is, this is the way. When everyone asks him, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing it this way? Why won't you take off your helmet? Why are you, turning this thing in? Why are you being like, this is the way. This is the way. This is the way I'm told to live. This is the way I'm told. This is the covenants that I've taken, right? It's crazy that this morning, my devotion, and I wanted to show you, I'm not lying to you. John 14, right there, 1 and 2. So it's crazy how God does this. I think it's great. I think it's awesome. God's saying, listen, there is a way. That way is you believe in me. You believe in God. And since you do that, I will take you to myself again. I will take you to this place that I'm going to prepare for you. And it is going to be amazing. Right? I mean, look at what God, look outside. I know I'm pointing, but this is a beautiful window here. Look outside. Look at what God does. Look at what God creates. And guess what? The beauty of this world is dying. It is going to corruption. It is getting worse. Yes, I'm not talking it's conspiracy theories and all this stuff here. It's biblical truth. Once sin entered, this world started moaning and groaning and not doing well, and it suffers. And that's beautiful. Imagine what God's creating for us in heaven with perfection that sees nothing bad. And he's saying, I'm making that for you. So my encouragement today, and I know I've taken a lot of time this morning. My encouragement for you today is this. God is setting something up for you that is more amazing than you can ever imagine. Some of you have lived really good lives. Some of you are starting to, you're working on those lives. I got Olivia and James and Bethany here. They're young, they're growing up. Look, you might face some really crazy things in this life. Maybe some really, really hard things. Some challenging things. There might be things in your own body. Things that, your health declines. Something doesn't work right. You struggle with something. You've got a temptation that just doesn't leave you alone, and you've got these challenges and all this stuff, and that is true. While we are here, sometimes things get hard. But believe me, and believe in God, believe in Jesus. There is going to be a day when all of that stuff is gone if you put your faith and trust in Him. I know we don't like to think all the time about heaven, and I think a lot of the times we don't like to think about it is because we don't think we deserve it. Why would we deserve that? If we really are honest with ourselves, we don't deserve heaven. We don't deserve bliss. And we don't. But God loves us so much that He's going to give it to us. So my encouragement to you today, I really just want to encourage you. Know that God's got you. God's here. He is going to come and get you again. It may be 5 years from now, a year from now, might be 10 years from now, 30 years from now. But eventually He will take you to Himself in this amazing place that He has created. And so whatever you face, whatever you come across, no matter what it is, a temptation, a sin, a sickness, a pain, some suffering, whatever it is, whatever challenge is brought to you, know that God is going to see you through it. And He is going to bless you tremendously if you follow Him. So I love you guys so much. Can't wait to see you tomorrow at 10. I'll be here maybe giving you, another update of what I'm going to teach the youth. I don't know. We'll see. So I love you guys so much. Talk to you later. Bye.